Good evening. This is Turk, and today I wanted to talk do a bit of a theory video about Shanks, and this is kind of an addendum to my video a couple weeks ago about conquerors and armament, the advanced armament Haki. The theory part of this comes to Shanks, and what makes him so special as a Yonko, because as of yet we have no idea what his power is. He has a devil fruit, and I'm leaning on the fact that he might not. I guess that he might not. And it came to me recently that perhaps what Shanks is really good at is Haki itself, as well as swordsmanship. I'm leaning on the idea that he was probably a swords master and perhaps was rival of Mihawk before he lost his arm. So my thought is that Shanks may be really good at both like Conqueror's Haki and especially the advanced armament Haki. I mentioned before that I have a theory that perhaps when he's using Conquerors, and perhaps there's an advanced technique where you can utilize the advanced armament Haki with Conquerors to create kind of a defensive perimeter around yourself that not only knocks out weak-minded people but can protect you from foes. And this might be what makes Shanks so particularly dangerous against other Yonko or other rivals of any sort that of devil fruit powers, is that he can use his Conqueror's Haki and armament in a way to defend off foes who are particularly useful powers like Whitebeard's with his Guru no Mi, and especially like Kaido. Perhaps he can, with his advanced armament, if he has it, and I'm pretty sure all the Yonko would perhaps be able to use some of it, he fought off Kaido and delayed him from going to Marineford by being able to harm him, at least enough to slow him down, perhaps, from Kaido going there and killing Whitebeard. So, my attachment to this theory too is that perhaps that's what makes Rayleigh so potent. Perhaps he is the one who also trained Shanks as a Haki master. He's training Luffy now, and he seems very good at teaching Luffy the basics. I have a feeling this isn't Rayleigh's first time training someone. Perhaps he's also taught other members of the crew how to use Haki. I'd be curious to know where he learned it from so well. But perhaps Shanks was his star pupil that Rayleigh showed how to use this Haki, and to pass on the knowledge down. And Shanks kept this up, and maybe he didn't even want to find a devil fruit, or use a devil fruit. And that's why he never wanted the Gamu Gamu no Mi. That he became a Haki master and wanted to stick away from that kind of stuff. Kind of like Zoro and Sanji don't seem to see the need to have a fruit power. So with back to Rayleigh a second. Perhaps Rayleigh's name, Dark King, refers to him being extremely good with armament Haki, kind of like Vice Admiral Virgo? And he can use it to such an extent like that he's nearly invincible. Maybe that's also why Luffy learned how to use the the Gear Fourth. Sorry, the Gear Fourth covering like that. Rayleigh gave him ideas about that, perhaps without showing it off, of how to cover yourself more and make yourself near invincible in combat with other devil fruit users. And with Shanks and his rivalries with the other Yonko, we can see how this would be very useful. Given with Luffy as an example, fighting Doflamingo, he was able to tear through those strings and still strike at Doflamingo with all the armament Haki coating him. And with an advanced armament Haki that's Shanks likely has, he could easily take on someone like Kaido without any problems. And I'm sure Rayleigh never had any problems dealing with other foes, like if he had that level. He does have that level. When he had that level and he was actively in combat. And so the final part I want to get on this is the credit here to Tekking 101. He made a statement about how he made a connection of how we had observation Haki, a focus of the Totland arc, and now the Wano arc is focusing on armored Haki. And he said how this next arc or the last arc will likely focus on Conqueror's Haki being a focus. And this had me think that I bet Shanks will be Luffy's next teacher on how to use that. He learned how to do his observation with Katakuri. He's learning armament now in the Udon prison, and I feel like Shanks will have to help him get. Well, unless Rayleigh comes out of nowhere, but Shanks. I feel like Shanks too. He's probably kind of waiting for Luffy to come and hoping he will, and I just think he'll have to help Luffy to progress further, and yeah, I just feel like he'll be the next person that helped Luffy in learning mastering all three Hakis. What is that? Oh, sorry, something on my computer keeps notifying. Shanks I feel like is the master of the armament Haki, perhaps really good at conquers. Not necessarily as a master that he's better than someone like Whitebeard, but he may be more versatile with it. He doesn't have a devil fruit, so he trained doing this with Rayleigh rather than focusing on devil fruit, utilizing the way like Doflamingo had with his fruit, or like Luffy did with all his fruit. So Shanks spent all that kind of time making his Haki really good, as well as training his other swordsmanship skills, kind of like Zoro would. And he'll train Luffy how to do this stuff too, to make his Conqueror's Haki better. Perhaps he'll teach him how he did that thing with breaking up stuff around him, like he did on Whitebeard's ship. I think that could be utilizing the advanced armament still, until we see something otherwise. And I had something else to say about that. That's just my little theory video on this. We'll have to wait and see what we find out more about Shanks. Oh, that was it. I bet when Shanks went up to the world government and they had him in handcuffs, they probably had him in sea prison handcuffs. I bet part of the reason Shanks wasn't so worried about being in front of the Gorosei is because he can use his Haki even without that. I don't think sea prison can hold back your Haki, can it? I doubt it. So Shanks wouldn't be so worried, I believe, being in front of those guys, if he knows how to use Haki as well as I think he can. So I really can't wait to see how this turns out. So thanks for listening to my theory, and let's see how this goes. Have a good one.